Hey, Amit, why don't you get us started, please?
Yes, John. So today, first I work on like yesterday it was not completed trust tip image metadata things. So today I work on, and while I was going through, we I was facing one issue. So I talked with Jerry and we redefined that structure, and now we will return image metadata in new field. So that is completed. I just being Wells about it.
Okay, so it's completed now.
Yes, so I will create a pull request. I pinged Wells about the structure
Okay.
and I'm testing it and I will create a request for it. Soon it will be available for him.
Okay, yeah, I'd
Second
like to
thing, hmm,
test it as soon
yes,
as we can before you drop off.
yes.
Okay.
And second thing, yesterday we talked about business open and close things.
Mm-hmm.
That I also identify and I'm working on it, so it will be completed also. Both I will create pull request.
Okay.
And I did not get chance to what you sent me. I've checked duplicate card. So let me first finish it, then I will check it. I'm in between currently.
Sounds good. What? Yeah, the duplicate card. Okay, so how much more time do you need for before Wells can test the image?
So 10 to 15 minutes most.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Let me know as soon as that's ready, or let us
Yes.
all
Yes.
know.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Amit. Jerry, let's get your update.
Hey, yeah. I want some feedback on core from you guys and Ian. It sounds like everything was working right with the test. Y'all got the chance to talk to Zane?
Um, he was vague. I don't think there's anything new. Danny, have you talked to him since?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, I don't know what the rollout plan is on that, but seems like everything's working. I'm just going to be building a front end. I need to build a front end to track all the responses for that business owner now.
Okay.
But the email works, and then the onboarding flow works. So yeah, functionality of the main core flow that's kind of on standby until confirmed it's done. But I'm just going to be working on the front end. I got a query to Wells for the updated masonry grid with the thumbnails and the full images. I told him to kind of just swap out the query for now, but there will be changes in play. For example, like with videos and for actually linking the image back to the profile that it was posted on, that it
Mhm.
was to. So I know he's going to be waiting on mock-ups for that. I am going to try and make an effort back to the rest of the feed cards, like adding thumbnails and stuff for there, if there's nothing else bubbling up.
Okay. Thumbnails.
Like on the actual Discover feed now. So what I
Mhm.
gave Wells was for the photos masonry on the target profile,
Mhm.
but now I'm going to work on going through the queries and updating the Discover feed thumbnails. I know I said I would have that yesterday, but I was here till late. We were working on the other things.
Yeah, I'm updating those to thumbnail. Now, those don't expand when you click on them. They end up taking you to the profile.
Exactly. So they don't expand. So I can give. I don't have to give like a separate thumbnail. I just have to update that picture to be the thumbnail. It's just
Okay.
a matter of going through all the images because there's different images for like trust tips, for favorites. There's different images for like when users become friends and stuff. Those types of images I have to go, and also like when a business onboards. Um, what I do is I go through those feed cards and I measure them on my phone. I get the
Mhm.
measurements in like millimeters. Yeah, millimeters.
Yeah, but now they're gonna be dynamically sized, right?
Yeah, but still, to get a nice preview for it, that the
Yeah,
size.
but they won't be previewing necessarily. Like if it's a user generated photo, for instance.
Then what I
Yeah.
can do is I can apply a light compression to where it still looks nice, but it might not be the full resolution.
Yeah. How much are gain? If it's not broken, I don't want to fix it. How much gain are we? looking at here? What are we fixing? With the feed.
We're improving the bandwidth consumption, the data consumption.
Okay. And what does that do for us?
Saves on our Cloudinary bill.
Does it? Do we know that for sure?
I don't know if they charge by the bandwidth, but I can find out real quick. Let's see, Cloudinary. I mean, I'm assuming everything has to charge by the bandwidth.
Yeah. But we don't have a big bill with them. So it's not like we're looking for a solution before we have a problem.
Mhm.
And I don't want to have unintended consequences. You see, I like the idea, like obviously optimizing chat makes
Mhm.
a lot of sense, and that was super not optimized.
Mhm.
So I get that. But now I feel like we could be overdoing it,
Mhm.
maybe.
So maybe from our server side, let's not consider it from that viewpoint. But what we could do is we can consider it from the viewpoint of the user that might not be on a fast connection.
Okay.
That this would improve their loading times for sure. And it also would improve memory usage rather than having, let's say, a 6 megabyte photo on your feed. It would instead be like 300 kilobytes. It would be like a tenth of that.
That sounds like a good improvement then.
Then let's take it away from the perspective of the server, but then we could put that perspective from the client who has to download the image.
Okay. So that would increase performance on
Yeah.
their device, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this still means we're doing a thumbnail.
It's not going to be a low cruddy thumbnail. It's like we can control exactly how compressed or not we want it.
Okay.
So it's
That's
not.
all good.
Cloudinary lets me set it to literally anything.
Okay. From what I understand too, if you take a super high resolution photo and you go half on it, it's pretty much imperceptible to the human eye. Is that
Yeah, because depends on high quality the photo is, but like I mean our phones now are taking 20, 30 megapixel photos, which are a lot more dense than what the screens are.
right? So we're not even displaying it at that level.
Correct. Like it's not the only way that it would make a difference is if you were able to zoom into it, which we can't, not from
Right.
the Discover feed.
Right. So that's not even a
Correct.
benefit. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, just keep in mind, we may adjust the size of photos. I would always give it a little larger than you need, just because.
That's what I've been doing. For example, like I've been measuring like 90, for example, 90 pixels. I've been doing like 100.
Okay.
I've been giving it a little leadway, but it still would work within the pixel density for the phone. Because I mean, phones have ridiculous pixel density.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yep, just going through that. And yeah, that core feedback would probably take some time too. I gave Amit a query. I think Amit gave that in his update that I gave him a query for the data loader. But yeah, that's what I did this morning, and I'll be continuing on that.
um, which one was that now for the data loader?
He wants it for this is for what Wells is working on for the Discover feed, the dynamic height on the
Oh,
image. Yeah,
yeah.
I we're gonna make a data loader for the trust tip images so they show properly.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. What else?
That's all I got from my point. I know we wanted to talk to Amine about the media player component, but he said he was running late. But when he
Yeah.
comes back, I want to talk to him about it.
Yeah. What about the media component?
Like, have they talked about that before? Is it recommended? Because what I was saying is that Cloudinary supports
Oh, the React Native version of it for Cloudinary.
correct because it supports video streaming rather than like video downloading.
Right.
You
Right.
can partially stream the video.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's That's all I got on my plate right now.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, sorry, Chantel and I were a little late. I was working with her on that Trello item we were talking about. So she's going to start tracking tasks. So when we start these stand-ups, we'll have a much better idea of where we left off yesterday. And we can start asking questions about specific items instead of relying on everybody's memory
Sure.
of what they were working on.
Okay. Did you get any further with Zane or anything else? You have any questions or do you have any next steps, Ian?
I don't think I have any active tasks to even work on right now. We're at this point waiting on a business that we can rely on to actually utilize Square so that we can do real testing.
Um,
I mean, the one thing I could do with regards to Zane is tell him that he's still doing it wrong, or that his staff is. I don't know if everybody's going to come down for a meeting either, maybe tomorrow or sometime this week, but I can show him again.
we should be in today. I don't know about Zane, but
Okay.
let's find out.
Okay, I'll text.
Yeah, sounds good. Danny, were you talking to that other business owner, the groomer?
Yeah, I haven't heard back from her yet, but I'm sure she'll get back to me. She's usually pretty responsive.
All right.
The first time she responded pretty quickly yesterday.
Okay. Okay. Wells, let's get your update.
Yes, sir. So based on the amount of times you heard my name today on stand-up, you can guess there's a lot of stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I continued working on what we did yesterday. I improved the the amount of places in which we use the correct colors for everything, so we can do the change and make it so we have a new grayish white in the areas that we need to. I still working in some stuff like that because I'm going basically across the app and I'm getting specific places and swiping for the colors they actually should be using instead of the one that we are using for the text, etc. So I'm still in the middle of that, and I received Amit's update on the image height and width that I'm gonna need to work on the the feed cards in order to make them dynamic. However, that is not up yet for me to test. So I have the how it's gonna look, but I don't have the data yet. So I decided to wait on that until it's up for me to test. I think Amit mentioned that it's gonna be up pretty soon because it has a PR open. And also, Jerry did provide me the mentoring grid updates for me to use the new mentoring grid. And before starting that, we actually will wait on some stuff from Shanto, right? Or am I wrong?
What would we be waiting on for Chantel?
I'm not sure. So when we speak on updating the mentoring grid, I see the new stuff that we have here. But I'm not sure exactly what are we gonna do there or where we want to go. So if we can discuss
What
that,
about,
again.
what were we saying about the masonry grid?
Updating what?
Jerry sent me some stuff about updating the masonry grid.
Oh, the masonry grid. Yeah, because of the sizes where it chops it and like you can't see the full image.
Let me expand on that. So we're talking about the mock-ups for the masonry grid, correct? Is that what we're talking about, Wells?
I think so.
What's that?
I think so.
Yeah, Chantel. So we for the masonry grid, there's going to be multiple. There's going to be we're going to have photos and videos in there now.
So,
Cool.
So videos will probably have like a little play button preview on it, just to distinct from them.
Oh,
And
okay.
media is going to come from one of two places. It can either come from Trust Tip, which is where it comes from right now. The way I described it is, if you go on my photos feed in production, you can see a hamburger, and you're like, "Oh, that's a pretty good looking hamburger. Where did it come from?" I don't have anything that tells me like
Mhm.
where I took that picture, even though I left it when doing a trust tip. So whenever I click that hamburger and it expands to the full screen, I'd like a view to where we can view that profile that I posted that trust tip to. Alternatively, the other is going to be from chat, and this is going to be messages, and this is going to be it's going to be images and video. So this if this media comes from chat, there's going to be, I believe, John, reactions that you can publicly react to it, and there's also going to be a button to join that group. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So for
Is-
example, we
Is
were
that
using,
in only like public ones?
yes. This is going to
Okay,
be
good.
yeah. We gave we gave an example of somebody who might want to post their art or something or video or something, and they share it in their Circles group chat, and somebody might want to join that group chat. So then they can it would only be from public group chats. It would never be from a private group. So it'd be an additional way for somebody to discover that group rather than just relying on the bar at the top of chat lobby.
And that's going to show up on the Discover feed?
No, this is going to show up on the photos tab on the target user
Oh,
profile.
okay.
So
Okay.
whenever you tap into a full screen, it's either going to have like that business profile data or just a little summary about the chat.
Okay, either a little summary about the chat, and then should it have a button for them to join the chat?
I believe so, John. That's what we were talking about. That'd be like one-click join.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you can join the chat now at the top of the lobby. It asks you if you'd like to join. Once you tap on it, the modal, it pops up.
And is that only if they click on the photo?
Well, if they click on the photo, I think they would see a full screen version of it, but I think there would be a section on that screen. I don't know, the top or bottom would be better to where they can see where they can almost subscribe to get more, to see
Right.
content more.
Yeah, so when they tap on the photo or video, it would expand so you can look at it. And then hopefully maybe somewhere on the image or video somewhere would give us an option to go to the source of the photo, whether it's to the group chat where this photo is being shared. And if they're not in the group, it would ask them if they want to join the group. Something like that, I'm guessing.
Let's have Chantel mock it up kind of based on what you're envisioning, Todd.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to help.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to take notes, so but I might actually close out this.
And
so
Jerry,
it's on my Fathom now.
you're saying the easiest thing to do right now would be just some basic information that is already being passed from the back end, like the date that it was taken, if it's maybe has a location where it was taken, some of that information, right?
Maybe. And is maybe some existing reactions possibly, if there are reactions to the image or video.
Oh yeah, reactions would be good. What about that, Jerry?
Yeah, we can do that. I just don't know, like to get Wells started, I kind of just wanted him to do mostly a one-to-one replacement.
Yeah, that's just to start. I'm talking about for the mock-up though.
Yeah, the mock-up. Well, I mean, yeah, it would be pretty easy to get the information from like the profile or even the chat group. And
Okay.
yeah, if it was a message, we could pull reactions into it.
Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, we'll start with phase one and just get it ready for video content. And now, Chantel, the masonry grid, you were saying the images are cropped, but they shouldn't be cropped anymore. They should actually be completely full size, respecting the original height and width. If you were to go to my profile, for instance, and look at my photos tab, they're all various sizes. They were cropping one time, but they shouldn't be anymore.
Yeah, okay. You know what I was thinking of is when you go on the profile, on the vendor profile, those are cropped.
Yeah. In the truss tips or where?
Yeah, and the truss tips, they're cropped.
Now, what about after expand? You can expand them now.
Yeah, but you've got to click on it. Otherwise,
Mm.
like, you only see part of the photo,
Right, right.
which can be a little awkward if it's like cutting someone off or,
Okay. So, what else, Jerry?
I think that's it for the mock-ups. I don't know if there's any other details that y'all having on mind that I was missing, but yeah, I think I kind of went over it.
Okay. So Wells, what are you finishing up now? And then what's next?
Yeah, so following the updates, besides everything I mentioned, there were 7 PRs merged yesterday about all the stuff that we did and all the improvement. I mean, reviewed them and they should be on the next build. So a bunch of new stuff on the next build. And right now I'm wrapping the colors, but it is also a really complex thing because again we are changing in many different places, so there is a lot of code for me to work here. And also, after thinking I finished, I have to thoroughly test it across the app with different colors, so I am sure that we are not changing anything that we don't want. But it's looking really promising, I would say.
As far as the colors are going?
Yeah.
Okay. That PR was not merged, right?
No, you mean a PR for the colors?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the colors I'm working in still.
Amine was saying yesterday he thought it was going to be in that yesterday's QA build, but I don't know why he was thinking that. Okay. What PRs did make it in there from you for yesterday's build?
Let me-
I know the smaller phone sizes for onboarding was one.
Yes, sir.
What else should we be looking for?
Let me show you.
Okay.
Yeah, the onboarding for small devices should be there. So this,
Yeah, got that in there.
yeah, the profile trust tips. So it should be working here and have more spacing there. So before it was like this, now it's like this. So this should be on the next build.
In the next
Also,
build.
the analytics updates regarding contact sync. Also, the border on the cards and
Yeah,
the highlight.
I'm talking about what made it into yesterday's QA build. I guess
I think
that border did make it, right? And what
yeah,
were you
I think
Yeah, because I see that. Then there's the outline.
Yeah.
Where's the what was that about contact sync?
yeah. So analytics for knowing how much contacts a person has shared when they onboard.
That's right. Okay. That's in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Because Jared got that scenario where someone allowed permission to contacts, but then selected 0 contacts to be shared. So
Mhm.
now we will know if that happens again, and we will see that they actually, even though they granted permission, they selected 0, 1, 2, or 3 for people.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, the highlights here. And yeah, just a reminder, a good catch from I mean that we tested it in the new, but just as a reminder, the shadow will not work in Android, right? As we saw. So
Right.
you just see that on Android, and the little shadow is not there. It is intended.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's keep moving. It's not wasn't really a lot. The bigger stuff is still pending, right? So,
Yeah, kind of the message in the like
yeah,
inside the picture.
I noticed that. It's looking good.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
Okay. So maybe Amit is close to getting that query
yeah.
ready for you.
Still, there is a lot of work on the color change because a lot of stuff is using the colors. You see those red here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to change it.
Yeah.
Too. So there's a lot of work to be done here. As you can see here on the left, there's a lot of different code in many different places. it is a good thing that we are actually doing this right now, but it is labor intensive job. So stuff to do, stuff to test, be sure that nothing is missing. For example, here on the bottom, this is something that has to be fixed, and I have to check for other places in order to make sure that none of this is passing through.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll
Well,
just
continue on that. How are you gonna? Let's start with that little pink dot there. Where? Why is I don't get how that is associated with a font color, but no, not that
this
one. No, that one up there. There's a lag. Yeah, one's
because
on,
the white, right?
not that one. No, there's a tiny lag. So put your cursor back on the avatars. Yes, that one.
Yeah. So this is using white, but instead of using the background white, it's using the text white.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Why is it using a text?
Text. Well, perhaps when was the person who did it there is we're using, for example, for the text, the white is for this. So just as my mistake,
Is Wells cutting out for you guys?
Yeah.
in there
Wells, you're cutting out.
might be.
Can't
It should be.
can't hear you.
Or perhaps, yeah, Google might be my Audi.
Yeah. Stop screen sharing. See if that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, right there.
Looks like you're still sharing your screen, and no, you're breaking up.
I can't. Um, there we go. Google was streaming. Lost your connection, but I'm still. Yeah, mostly stability here.
We'll come back to you, Wells. You're not. We can't hear you.
Yeah, sounds good.
How much more time do you need over there?
John, almost in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm getting one issue. I'm connecting Jerry. One minute. Data loader issue I'm getting.
Okay, sounds good. Chantel,
Jerry,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead on it.
Can I connect with Jerry separately? Jerry, can I call you separately
Sure.
on Slack? I'm joining John.
Sounds good.
After talking.
Thanks. Chantel, you want to share your screen? Maybe we can look at the designs we were talking about. I want to see Todd's vision come to light here.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I was just working with ChatGPT to see if there's use cases that I wasn't considering for additional screens.
On which screens?
What we were just talking about with the photos and videos and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so what screens do you want to look at right now?
The masonry grid.
Oh, okay. What we were just
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
But
Well, I was just
actually, let's revisit the winner circle one more time. I kind of want to see where that left off. Did you get anywhere with the names of the people on there?
yeah, I started on something. I don't know how I feel about it. It was kind of my first draft on it,
Okay.
or second draft, but
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I like that actually. Maybe the background color could be a little more blue. I suppose that is our blue, but it just because of
yeah,
the
it's two blues that we use. It's the lighter blue and then the darker blue we use.
okay. Yep.
But I am not sure how I feel about the size of them.
Like them bigger or smaller?
I don't really know because so I started resizing them because I felt like this was a little tall, so I started making this one like a little more narrow.
Yeah, I noticed they're a little bit different. Yeah, I like the lower height.
You like it a little bigger?
No, other way.
Oh yeah, a little more narrow like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe more narrow. But yeah, that was a draft I was working on.
That's looking good. Um,
Looks so much better.
yeah, yeah, it's more fun than the original, that's for sure.
So much more fun and
Yeah,
playful and
yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. So yeah, this might be ready. Do you like winter circle up above versus inside the circle?
I think I like it a little bit more above. Um that way it really stands out versus in the center it just didn't feel like it
Yeah,
was as visible. Like if I bring this to a smaller font and all of that, it's just not as visible.
yeah, true.
Is the intention that I could click on this and go to the person's profile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I think I might raise these up a little bit since these are going to be static. Give
True.
more space than right here.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would, yeah, bring them up a little bit. That's a good idea. So the only thing we don't have is a number next to the other people.
I do have a number right there.
I meant for
Oh,
like
you want it on the tag though, on the not off
for
to
the
the
number.
side.
Well, yeah, do you have the number of cares? Like,
Oh, the number of cares. Got it. Not just place. Got
yeah,
it.
not just their rank, but yeah, because you kind of want to know how far behind you are, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
So, hmm. Thinking too about something else. If there was a tie, I guess we'll just have to go by chronological, but
Hmm.
there's another screen I really want to work on, and I'm not ready yet because I'm thinking deeply about it. It's the people finder screen. It's just not really doing a good job. Our onboarding screens are doing a great job. People are engaging with them and adding friends and inviting friends and sharing their contacts after not allowing the permission, then changing their mind and adding the contacts. And that part's going good. But then once they're in the app, we're getting poor conversion rates of people finding adding friends. And the people finder screen just, especially if you don't allow contacts, it's just, there's like nothing going on there. So I want to look at that here, maybe today after, and after, right after this. I want to take another look at that, but I want to think about it a little bit more. So, Todd, do you want to share your ideas when Chantel brings up that view? We can start
Yeah, of
with the
course.
masonry grid. Okay. Here, let me take a screenshot of mine because mine's got a bunch of different size pictures, so it give us a starting point.
Okay.
I sent it to you, Chantel. I'll send it to you, Todd, to give you kind of idea of what it already looks like with, I don't know what yours looks like, but this one's got
Okay.
a bunch of different pictures.
Hmm.
So there it is. So we're missing all kinds of information here. Like, where was that? And when was that? And who was I with? Maybe I tagged somebody, you know, reactions, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Reactions from if got they were in if these were
Mhm.
in chat. Maybe if it came from a trust tip,
Maybe the upvotes.
would there be Yes, it's saying the number of votes it has or something.
Yeah, because those are basically like likes.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody likes those. People like
Mhm.
likes.
They do.
Okay. So we want upvotes and reactions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And date stamps. I think even location, like a couple of those pictures you see there, they were in Paris,
Hmm.
which is cool.
Mhm.
We don't have to put like the address, but like maybe the city.
Would we maybe not show that until you tap on the image to expand it when there's more of a view to fit that information?
That's what
Perhaps,
I
or do
was
you think it's
thinking.
important to have it
I think,
right here in the
I
grid?
think this obviously is cleaner, but in terms of getting behavioral, like if you look at TikTok, there's stuff all over the screen, with they have the image or the video behind it, and there's stuff all over it.
Yeah. And they, except when you look at their their grid or their masonry view, if you look at someone's content, it's a little like, which looks like a lot like what you're showing us here, kind of.
Okay. Is there any? There's
Yeah,
no like info.
I'm gonna look. I'll find out right now. If I look at
I think views, if I remember correctly.
my sister, yeah, the only information that you see on it is going to be the number of times it was played or viewed,
Yeah.
or its reactions, maybe, and that's it
Mhm.
until you tap on it, and then you get a bunch of other information about it.
So you get the number of times it was played or viewed,
And that's
and
it.
and that's okay.
That's it.
So not even a date.
No.
Nothing.
Okay.
Not until you tap on it to expand it, and then you get all kinds of information about it.
No likes.
Share it, like it, react to it.
You wouldn't see how many people liked it.
No.
Not in that view now.
Okay.
It just looks like the only important piece for TikTok is like the number of times it was viewed or played, I guess.
Okay. Well, I guess we're almost done here then.
Yeah, yeah. The grid should be pretty basic. I feel like,
Okay.
um, with some information that we think is important as far as reactions and whatnot. I'm going to
Okay.
be able to provide a lot more information on the full view. Let me
Okay.
look at Instagram real quick. Instagram's very similar with TikTok. If I look at Circles, in fact, yeah, Instagram doesn't show anything. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they do. They just show the number of times it was viewed, and that's it until you tap on it.
And
Then
that's
you get all
only
kinds of.
for videos too. That's not even for the photo grid. For the photo grid, you can only see if there's more than one. Like if
Right.
it's a carousel, you get the little
Right.
box symbol on the top right.
Right.
Other than that, if it's a photo view, there's nothing else. Or if it's a reel, it will have the little symbol saying it's a reel.
Okay. Yeah. So then I would expect, unless we feel differently about the photos like John's showing here, if we want more information. John, you were kind of set on it, not really set on it, but thinking it would be possibly better, or might get more of a attention if it had more information on these on the
Yeah,
masonry grid here.
like kind of at glance, like on Instagram, you definitely see the amount of likes, right? And then, um,
Not on the grid like this.
no
You just see the number of
No.
times it was viewed.
viewed. Are
And
you talking
that's
about videos?
only on video, but on photos, there's nothing on the grid view unless it's a carousel and you see a little symbol that tells you there's more than one there.
Okay. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like it would be good to show it like uh so it's a more accessible. I'm not describing that very well.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know.
I think that since this is a Mason view, we can maybe model it a little bit more like Pinterest because
Okay.
they also have it. And um, there's like a line to tell you a little bit more info, and then like three dots for an action type thing. But it gives you a line of extra details.
Okay.
Uh, unless it's sponsored, then they have more than that.
Okay.
So I will throw this in dev so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm back, y'all. If y'all had any questions.
Just want to get that over to Wells when it's ready.
Yeah, I'm in
Yep.
sending me the four requests right now.
You cut out just a little bit. What was that?
I'm in sending me the pull request. It won't be long.
Okay, great. Want to see how it looks. So, Wells, when you get that, let's implement it right away while we still have Amit, and then let's see how it looks in QA.
Okay, by I mean the right?
No, the images that we're going to have the full height and width in the feed.
I see. Okay.
Yep, that should be ready for you any minute. Your Wi-Fi connection is still not very good, but
Yeah, indeed. Really bad today.
yeah, I see Amine has arrived too. Hey Amine, how's it going?
Hey, it's all good.
Good, good. We're just looking at some style changes, but let me get an update from you while you're here.
Yeah. Yesterday was about like to wrapping up the build where we had some fixes Wells did for small devices on onboarding, and the major ones was of like the changes we did for the Android, how we handle the status bar and nav bar for Android, also fixing some keyboard issues where it was covering, and also the issue with the what streaming that was always popping up for any group. Yeah, those kind of stuff like we did that yesterday. But so I'm not sure how
Okay.
it was. If I saw your messages.
Yeah, what's going on there with the profiles? Um,
I looked at the video, like I could not see that re-rendering. Like which image exactly that gets re-rendered? Is it the one on the feed or on the profile screen?
I could share my screen. Um, I think I deleted them. I mean, let me think about the best way to do this. I can pull them out of my deleted folder or just make a new screen record. Let me just make another screen record. One sec. So you're saying when you watch the video, you don't see the jumping?
The jumping or the re-rendering? Like,
Well, I suspect it's both.
um, are we talking the feed or inside the profile?
It's not doing it.
It's like I didn't like I was trying
Wait,
to
it's
see.
not this phone. I'm on the wrong phone. Yeah, so what I do know is it does not do it in build 32 because that was build 32. Let me go to my other phone. One second. So what were you asking?
I mean, I cannot share my screen, the videos you send me, and because I'm not able to see it. So this is the first video you sent me. Um, like
Yeah,
this is like this is on slow speed.
yeah.
Oh,
Here, Continue playing. Okay, so right here,
Here, like what would be like the image? The image will render.
yeah. Um,
I I'm not seeing it in the video.
it's
Like
not. Yeah, that's because Slack drops the frames.
I don't know, even without Slack, maybe yeah, Slack. Yeah.
No, it's definitely Slack. I'm doing that exact same profile right now from my phone, and it's super clear. Let me do it in slow motion, and I'll send it to you in slow motion.
Okay.
One sec.
And we're talking about the image inside the profile.
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
Um, it's elements on the profile.
Yeah, I mean, is it like the feed or the profile? That's what I'm trying.
Oh, it is the profile. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So let me do it in slow motion. So I tap on it. Okay. Here, so this is it in slow motion. There's something weird going on there. Like, it's the image and also the icon for the art galleries thing. So, and that's also what was happening on the movies. The movie icon, as you can see, you can just watch it regular speed because it's slow. So just let it go regular speed. Um,
I
and
just.
slow down. So do you see how there's no icon for art galleries, and now the image just
Hmm.
then the,
Yeah, I can see that now.
yeah. I was
Well,
doing that in movies and shows also.
well, for the icon, I would get why it's happening because like this, the icon thingy that this like it flashes, not
Mhm.
flashes. It's like it's not present the moment you navigate that it pops. It's because this is an image not in a device. It's coming in from a remote URL, and it needs a little bit of time to get to get downloaded and loaded here. Not like any other.
It wasn't doing it in build 32.
Okay. Um. Yeah, but
Something
like let me see these changes related here and see what's.
okay. And it's also doing it to movie and show profiles too, which is interesting. And then of course, why is the image also, and notice the image, that's why it feels like a re-render, because the image and the
Mhm.
icon come exactly the same time. And that's not a coincidence. Like if you look at it, if you watch that again, they are exactly the same time. So there's some type of connection. Yeah, go or yeah, so the
Yeah.
image is not there, the icon is not there, and then
Yeah.
boom, exactly the same time. And that's recreatable. So
Okay.
there's some connection there
Mhm.
between. Okay,
Like you doing that in iOS, right?
that's right.
Okay. Let me see.
And also, I mean, when I background the app and come back, it'll do it.
Okay.
So I know that's a clue also.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it'll do it if I just stay on the profile. Like, like I think it just does it periodically. Let me confirm that. Give me a second. Maybe not, but it definitely does it if you background the app and come back. So there's some type of refetch, right?
Yeah. That's what's going on. So
Okay.
mhm. Yeah.
But
If it's
it's
like easily reproducible, then I can track it and see what's going on there.
okay. Yeah, it's new to this build.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then also Android. Let me know when you got a sec. I don't want to interrupt you there.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can tell me. Honestly.
Okay. So Todd is testing and Chantel's testing on their Androids, you know, and still some weird behaviors. Like from your understanding, that nav bar was supposed to stay there all the time on Android devices, right?
Yeah, it will be there. Sometimes it might be like transparent, so you can see the contents behind it.
Okay. So I
But
guess
it is there.
okay, Todd can explain it a little better, but I think he was saying it was not there at all um, upon installing the app, and would appear if you swipe up, um, but then it would not be there as you navigate. And it was a good behavior, like it was fine for him on his device. But then when I think when he closed the app and came back, then it was always there. Is that right, Todd? And then was it in the way? Was it overlapping? Is Todd here? Oh dear. Where's Todd? Did anybody see Todd drop?
I did not.
Oh,
You
Todd's
mean
messaging
to
me.
reach out to him?
1 second, he just messaged me. Um, what the hell? What is going on? This is totally separate from this, but um, okay. Well, we'll wait for Todd to come back. He's on a call.
Mm.
But yeah. So why don't you start with this one?
Okay, yeah, I'll look into it. I'm compiling, building the app, so can have the consistency. And
Okay. And what was there something else though? And I mean, you're going to get into
yeah,
the
the other
content.
is yeah with the comics. That's gonna be, I mean, today. Um, yeah, I was about to start on it, but yeah, I'll see this issue here now. To know what's going on.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, cool. All right, then we'll let me know when you're
Okay,
free for that. Okay, thanks. I mean, okay, and then Amit, let me know when you have the thing for Wells, which Wells seems like he lost his Wi-Fi connection. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna call Todd. I'll be right back.
Hello, Wells. Is it drop?
Yeah, where did he might be reconnecting.
Okay. So deployment complete.
John.
I
John?
think he stepped away to get on a call.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
took a call real quick.
Just I'm not sure if anyone knows here. Just I want to ask if you guys remember this, like this jumping of the icon. Like if you using iOS, do you remember this was happening in old builds? If anyone, like there is a jump. It's not there, then it's here. The icon. But yeah, if you want to, I'll ask John. when he's back.
You said there was something about a jump, or
Yeah, there's like you see this icon.
uh-huh.
So I just want to ask if anyone remembers in the if this was happening in the old builds as well. Like, see, it's not there. Then it's maybe it's lagging on Google Meet.
Like a pop in.
Yeah, it's lagging in Google Meet. Like, yeah, now happens clear. Like,
When you're clicking just a feed card.
no, here, like this. I'm sharing my like where I'm having my cursor on.
You're going to the profile from a feed card.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Like if you have an old build, and just to verify if this is old or new behavior. But John would remember.
Yeah, I have a screen recording on 32. Um, Let me play it slow and see what happens. Hmm. So, okay, let's see. Well, something that we could do to stop that, I mean, is the the image component, I believe, just needs a height.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if we're doing this right now or not, but I want to just make sure if this is like a regression or not.
Okay.
Or like,
Uh,
yeah.
I still see it on build 32. There's the pop in, but when we go to
Okay.
like 10,
Okay, so it was already there, so it was not introduced in these new changes.
mhm.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm gonna try again. Yeah, I'm on build 10 and it's still doing it.
All right. Okay.
Let me make sure. Yeah, it's still doing it on 10, but I feel like just adding
A height like for the component. Yeah, so it will not jump. Yeah,
mhm.
about it.
I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Yeah, I was asking, so if this like icon popping was happening in the old builds, like if you remember it in the old builds,
No, I'm in build 32 now, and it's not doing that.
it's like just the icon.
It's loading in late. Let
Yeah,
me
it's loading late, and
let me go
It
to
does.
or and
It,
see.
it does not do that in build 32. Everything loads all at the same time. There's no re-rendering of any kind.
well, I fixed the issue here. Like I'm not sure if you, but I don't see it. Like I was able to reproduce it, like the image that flickers.
Yeah, why was it doing it?
Oh, there's something totally different on 34. I just switched to 34. Yeah, no, there's totally a really bad flicker.
Yeah,
Right.
the bad flicker, it's fixed. Like for the image, is fixed. The reason why it was like,
No, it's not even that. It's the well,
And if you background it and come back, it'll do it. Watch,
yeah,
Jerry.
this is not happening on 32. Sorry. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not happening to this extent.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
well,
So
I
what?
fixed
But
like,
what? But what got introduced? I mean, why?
it's a one line. It's a one line. Like when you were working with Wales, maybe
Yeah.
you added some padding somewhere here. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's actually padding only if. Oh, I know where. Right there. There's trust tip. Yeah. See how it says share a trust tip? above that.
Yeah, if like yeah, if I brought that back, we can see now that padding.
No, I'm not talking. Well, that there is that. Okay, that's different.
That's
So
this is the padding that caused this fix.
that's the padding that caused it. I see. Can you? I want you to tell Wells. He's not here, is he? I want you to tell him his mistake because I want him to learn from this because
Mm-hmm.
he does these things and I just want him to get more experienced. So, um, is it something obvious? Like, how come you didn't catch it in the review?
You will not be able to catch it in the review because we need to see it like live so you can see. I mean, I'll share my whole thing.
How
So
about like just like looking at that code now that you know that that was the source of the problem? Was there anything that he could have known up front?
mm, yeah, yeah. So that padding was added here. Like this is not the best practice if you wanna assign a
Mm,
style here. It not it's not a best practice to do it like in here. You will have to have it in something what we call a style sheet. Then you have to call it here. I mean, sometimes that's okay. You don't have to have that in style sheet. Things looks fine and everything. You don't.
mm,
But in when things are complex and there's a lot of components they are relying on each other in communicating, it's
mm,
better to do it. And from just reviewing code, you might miss it because it's not always the cause of a render. But yeah, it's yeah. The fix is really easy. Just like you move this to a style sheet here, and that's it.
and
I'll
that's
tell.
what he should have done in the first place.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
but
we let him know.
hmm hmm
Okay.
but again, it's like an easy thing, and you might just miss it. It's not like a really obvious thing. Like while you're working, you might like miss it. But I
Yeah,
think everyone that uses React know this. It's it just I think he just missed it that day because he was working on other stuff. So it's not like a
you
very
think so? He should. It's kind of a obvious, like a standard knowledge saying that he would know, or maybe he didn't know. Maybe he just learned something.
I think it's like it's known.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just talking for myself. Like it's known. It's better to have styles in the style sheet for React Native, like here.
Yeah, I've heard that before too.
It's like that's the best practice.
Okay.
But as you work in, sometimes you would not see it or you're not, it's like just convenient. You just have it here because you don't see a render or anything and you'll be just fine.
I
But
see.
as a good rule, jump rule, it's like you always need to have your size inside sheet. Like, I mean, I myself, sometimes I don't have the size in the side sheet because you're working on stuff and you want to like having it there just for convenience because you're just still working on it. Like, for example, here, you see here, this is
Mm,
this needs to be in its own style sheet as well. But here it works fine. It's not introducing any flicker or anything.
mhm.
So it's not like always, That's why it's
I see.
but when you once you spot it, it is the cause and you go and fix it right away. It's not like a thing. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll let him know about this. So in
Okay.
future.
And then, thank you. And then, what about the icon for the movie in this place icon? Why is that also loading?
So is it the icon? Let me see now. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's doing it.
that's not
Yeah,
doing that till 32.
it's not.
So something else he did introduced it.
Let me go where
I
that.
can tell you the other thing he worked on. If you go to the profile screen,
hmm
yeah, if you scroll down to share trust tip. So for some reason, where it says go down, where it says share trust tip in white, right up a little bit, right there. That was cropped. In fact, the avatar of your picture, like the waterfall,
hmm
that was like cropped a teeny tiny bit, and the whole share trusted. The whole thing was missing. So I'm not sure when or how long that's been there, but I just noticed it. Um, so he fixed that, and then he also changed the text inside of where it says share a tip or some insightful info. I doubt that has anything to do with it. But maybe the when he fixed this cropped component, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Okay, I'll go there and see. I'm having his changes here. I can see all the changes he did.
Okay.
Mm,
Also, I noticed something weird. When you get a chance, go back to the emulator.
okay. Just give me a second. Is this one? This is fine. This is also. This could be. Okay. I can see.
Um,
Yeah, want to show me something in the menu thing?
yeah, go to the very bottom. Why is there an empty trust tip? How did that happen?
I did it when I was when I was like working on this. I was testing. You can right now do an empty trust tip. Like I just go
Okay,
here, do done. That's
so
it.
that's a defect, yeah.
Yeah, we can. This is a front end issue that we can fix.
Okay, will you do that too?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Cool. All right. So we lost Wells, but I'm sure we can get him through Slack whenever Amit's done, and then I'll be back in a minute. But Chantel, while we're waiting for that, there's a screen I really want to improve on. The People Finder screen. Let's start with that. Um, this is what it looks like when a user does not allow contacts. I don't. I'll send it to development, but I think pretty sure that's where it just went. I don't think this is working very well for us. I watch a lot of session replays. People come here and they're just like, "What do I do?" And even I feel the same way on a test phone. I'm just like, it's just not inviting. Like I've seen other apps like Locket, Zenly. They just do a lot better with the way they're inviting the user to do something. I'm gonna send a couple of screenshots of what I prefer to see, and we'll go off of that. And we have. Do you have this screen, Chantel? I'm sending this to you directly, not to development, if that's where the last one went. But remember, this was our kind of original design for the People Finder screen. It evolved. Do you still have our older designs that look more similar to what I just sent you?
Mm, I
I
don't
probably.
think so. Let me see if I have it in my old designs folder.
Okay.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Really? Are you sure? I don't think we would have deleted it. Try looking around because I know we went in a different direction.
I'm not even sure that I really remember what that version looked like.
It looked a lot like that, what I sent you.
Yeah.
It was very similar. And then
Okay, I'm kind of remembering the by phone number.
mhm.
Oh, that was in our sketch files. Okay.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
Okay. Well, I want to take a hybrid approach to what I know has been working for us in onboarding, and then what I've seen working on other apps, and go from there. Here's another app that I like that does it well. And
That's kind of boring.
I know, but that's just one version of it. There's a different one too. Um, Let me get that.
I'm surprised that worked for them.
That's just at that section, but that's not necessarily the primary location. That's like one step, but they have a more robust. I'm looking for my screen records here. Here we go. In fact, let me just take a little screen recorded clip. Let me start with a screenshot. So this is the same app, but I think this is after you get out of onboarding. Let me double check on that. See, it's a little more colorful.
Did you send it?
Yeah, did it not go through?
Uh-uh.
Hmm. Well, where did I just send it?
Oh, you sent it to development.
Did I? Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. So do you want to add little icons in front? I like that.
That's a nice touch, maybe. Well, let's start with like even the see more button. Like, and also we need to look at what ours looks like, our people finder screen compared to this. Do you have first can you share your screen? Let's look at the Figma designs. Oh yeah, while you're doing that, Todd, well, let's wait for Amin to finish. But I mean, when you're done, Todd's back. I wanted to explain the nav bar situation on Android. When you're done.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, just a second.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So here's our people finder screen, right? And if you don't share contacts, you don't even get any of this information. And that see more, like see 30 something more, it's not very visible. Like, I don't think anybody ever clicks on it. Yeah. I kind of like the button we use where it says show more, like when you're adding a chat. Yeah, we use that, something like that. But it might be a nice touch to say show um 37 more.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like that's why I was saying like a hybrid. Um, and we already use that in the app. Like if you're creating a group chat, and you look at the members, we use that button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you don't have to remake anything. Did you find the old design for that screen?
I was trying to look for it, but
Okay.
it's in an old sketch file, I bet. Because I think that Francesca actually designed that.
Hmm. Well, we worked on it, me, you, and Danny, for a
Yeah.
while. I have screenshots of it. Maybe it'll jog your memory. Let me go back, and I can even give you dates, so that might help
Okay.
too. Let's see. Good.
I'm gonna see if you like this better. Tell me what you think. Because see, in this we have the line underneath, but what do you think of it like this, like how we already
Yes.
have?
Yeah, exactly. Like we do in chat. That's
Like,
perfect.
okay,
That's perfect.
I feel like that's way more obvious and
Mhm.
takes the whole
Exactly.
color through.
Yeah, I think it was kind of invisible before, but now it's more clear. And we might as well drop the number in because we're getting the number from the back end, so it's not even any extra work. Okay, I'm getting closer. Definitely in the right date range here because I see variations of it. I'm almost there. Come on, where is it? I have so many screenshots. This is insane. Trying not to go too fast to go past them. Gotta be getting close. I feel like I passed it. Maybe. Hmm. That's a nice looking design. This is kind of related to what we were talking about yesterday. Just don't remember what happened to it. For adding photos to a trust tip.
Yeah, I like that button.
Yeah. But I think we have a white background. I mean, it still probably look good. Or we could do a darker background. But also the add buttons up top. So I don't know how it ended up down below. In the app. Where is the screen I'm looking for? Here we go. Finally. Okay.
How
This
far back was it?
2022? Let me make sure I'm in the right area.
I guess I was the one who did it. Man, I thought it was Francesca.
Yeah, this is where we started changing to what we currently have. So let me go back further because we pivoted. Dang, what is going on here? Still going back. There we go. March 2022. This looks like, this looks like our first draft yet. I feel like I just got to the last draft because I'm scrolling back.
Oh, that one.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that was when it was Jim and Austin on the team. Okay.
Was that, yeah, okay. Um, hmm So I thought we iterated on it quite a bit, but I'm not seeing. Well, maybe you can tell. Let's see what you have in Figma. Oh yeah, here's another one, even better. It got, yeah, okay, yeah, it did get better. This one has pills on it.
Okay. I have the old icons still. So that's good.
Uh, we got rid of the filters. So you don't have like a full intact screen like that somewhere in our Figma designs?
No, I don't.
Are you sure? I don't think we
Yeah,
would have.
man. Listen, that was from a super long time ago. And I was like, I would be like, are you sure you're okay with deleting it? And you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, but what happens if I said no? Where would you put it?
I would have it in like
Archive
some of
somewhere?
the others I have like old designs. Like here with chat. I know I've got it here for chat. That's a work in progress. Here's an old design.
Okay.
But
You don't have it in here anywhere?
nope.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not a complicated screen. And besides, it
Plus
needs
also we like gotta keep things clean so it doesn't get confusing too.
yeah, for sure.
Not like, why is this here?
hmm Well, we can easily recreate it.
Yep.
I mean, it needs improvement anyway. Besides, I want it to be somewhat of a hybrid between what we're using, the example I had from Locket, some of the examples we used from Gas App, and then Zenly. They all had some good ideas. I feel like we can get the best of it all put together. Something that's just more interactive. Like right now, people are not really interacting with that screen, especially when they haven't allowed contacts. I sent you a screenshot of what my test phone looks like with no contacts allowed. Yeah, up, maybe down.
I think he did it in development.
Yeah. That
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's like nothing to really interact with. If you don't recognize those three people, people don't even see the see more button. And it's just a lot of like invite them and then like invite who. Like it doesn't say there's like no names, there's two buttons. It's just chaotic. So let's clean it up and get better results. This is a very high value page if I can get it to convert. So I'd like to go off of the design we were looking at. The last one I had there that I sent to you in Slack, where it's like add friends.
This one.
Yeah, I found another iteration of it too. Oh, this is when we started changing to what we currently have. So I guess we could go off of our current Figma design and make a copy of it and start improving. In fact, why don't we take the screenshot I sent you of the current one? I sent it in development, that one where it said like it just has barely anything on it. I want to that's where I want to start from. Yeah, up one. Or yeah, that one right there. I want to start from that because that is a guaranteed fail. So anything we do to improve it is going to be an improvement. Because this is what people see when they don't allow contacts, which is like half the time at least. The good news is Jerry's done some really great work with my help to improve our algorithms to find suggested people. For instance, Barbara onboarded a couple days ago, and she hasn't used the app in a while and did not share contacts. However, all the suggested people, not all, but like tons of suggested people were people she knew, like Brandon, BK, Mike was in there, Todd, Danny, you were in there. I don't know if you ever met my ex-girlfriend Barbara, but like a lot of people she recognized, point being, and she didn't even allow contacts. So we have the ability to show on the screen high value suggestions just based on the database work that happens behind the scenes. So this little friends of friends thing, it's not really capitalizing on the data structure that we've architected. And that's a shame, but we can improve it. So I like where Zenly says you might know them. Other apps say people you may know,
Yeah, which I think we have.
but not on that
It's
screen.
now right here.
Yep, there's that. So that's
And
is that an
if
older
you,
screen then?
it's supposed to be if you don't allow contacts is what it should be.
Mm-hmm. Now that one's hideous, but we can work on it. So let's see here. But the other thing I like about the Zenly approach, let's put the Zenly one next to ours, where it says add friends. I think it says at the top, add some friends. And actually, then let's also take the locket approach too. And let's look at all three of them side by side. Not that one. That one is, like you said, that one's kind of boring, but the one more colorful. That one, yeah. Okay. So I like add some friends. It kind of gets you right in the mood. And I believe that's what people are thinking when they go to search people. And I see this in session replays. They go to the search button, they go to people, they come to our screen, and then there's nothing there. And there's no call to action, nothing telling them what to do. But add some friends. That gets you going. So let's take that screen you got that you're working on here and make it really long. And then we'll bring that list down, bring everything down except for the add some friends. Keep add some friends at the top. Go up higher too, above that list. The top list. Yeah, right
Okay.
there. Right there down.
Yeah. So including the list of people. Got it.
Yeah, because then I kind of like the from contacts by username. I feel like we can use that.
I would like to ask you something.
Mhm.
So, on a high level of things, we currently have two styles. We have flat style with our buttons and our icons and stuff like that. But we've been starting to add more like 3D elements, and it's starting to create some like inconsistent styling.
Mhm.
Like, for example, the winner circle is not a flat design.
True.
Um,
True.
even the buttons on that, um, like this adds more dimension, having the gradient here. And so I wanted to see if you would be open to kind of adding some more dimension to all of our icons and
Yeah,
buttons.
I've always liked the dimension. I never was a fan of
Okay.
the flat thing.
Okay. Because I feel like it's starting to look a little dated with it being flat.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's funny because it looked dated when it wasn't flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Because signs are always changing of what's cool and what's not cool.
true. The good thing about the winner circle one is at the very, very bottom, and it's like a trophy. So like, even though everything above it might be flat, I feel like it's okay for that thing to be its own trophy style. Like, I guess it would, in other words, it would look weird if it went flat, then 3D, then flat, then 3. That would be a lot of conflict. But at least it's at the very bottom, so it's kind of like its own thing. But I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, like Circles Buddy is another example. Having
Yeah.
more dimension and that 3D element.
Hmm. Okay. Well, interestingly about Zenly here is they don't have a search bar at the top, and I thought that was kind of strange. But I guess if you go to like from contacts, there'd be a search bar. By username, there'd be a search bar. So they do pull up another modal. For searching, which is an extra step. So that's not necessarily an advantage. So let's see. How best to approach this? 1 second. Okay, so there's some advantages to like by adding friends by phone number, which we don't even have that yet, but I've seen people try and do that.
Try do what?
Add someone by phone number.
Which we do have that.
I don't know that you can do that in the search bar, can you?
Oh no, not in the search bar. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, but I think
But that was something I think you used to be able to do in Facebook way back in the day.
and on Zenly. Um, We could do that Circles QR code. Now, that's not a bad idea because you want to add a friend. They're standing next to you. You just hit the QR code. They can just scan it right off their phone.
Well,
Yeah, that does happen.
isn't it that as soon as you open your camera, it does it?
I mean,
What
we
do you-
already have the dynamic link. Ideally, that QR code should work.
Yeah. I'm saying like two people are standing next to each other. One person is trying to add their friend. They could just show the QR code from their phone.
So now we need to create a design that shows a QR code that I can show other people.
See on your Slack messages on the far right where it says from Circles QR code in the
Yeah,
middle.
yeah. So you would click on that and then you would have a QR code that I can share and then
You don't
another
even need
one
to share
where
it.
I
You
can.
just
Well, how would I show it?
you point your phone at me and then I scan it with my camera.
But what are you scanning?
QR
How
code.
am I showing a QR code?
Press the button, the QR code appears.
That's what I was just saying.
Right. But you don't have to share the QR code. You just show it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I meant is show it. Like that is still me sharing it. I'm showing it to you. Like
Mhm.
I'm sharing
Yeah.
it with you.
Yeah.
Yes. So it would show the QR code and then we would have another one that maybe had like a camera or something like that and it would say like scan QR code.
Oh, you're talking about like the next screen? The next screen could just be the QR code all by itself. The other imagine there's two people. One person has
Yeah.
a camera on their phone. The other person has a QR code on their phone.
Okay, so what you're saying is the next one just has the QR code and then someone's going to use their camera and they're going to scan that QR code. I'm not scanning it from this button.
Right. No.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused. Got it.
Two people in the process.
Yeah.
And I've seen this happen before where they were standing next to each other trying to figure out how to get in the app, get the one
Yeah.
person, get the other one in. So yeah, and Jerry, you're saying we can just have that dynamic link, right? We can even probably start a group chat with them, right? Or a one-on-one chat, I guess you could say. Which I think already happens when you're invited. So okay, so yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go with the design you're working on. Let's take the best of all of these, which is add some friends, and then be like from contacts by username, by phone number, or from Circles QR code.
Would it be
So the-
username or just name?
Name probably.
Okay. And then that would then take us to a search bar.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have a search bar at the top.
Are you still sharing your screen? Okay, yeah, that's good over there.
Yeah. So yeah, because I just would assume I would just search for the name here, and that's how I would do it, not click here since there's no search bar here. That's just an extra step.
Yeah, true. I'm thinking about this now from because it says people in circles, which we don't say that anymore. It's search for a friend. And I want to center it. Let's use the same centered style that we do on like if you edit your circle of trust, that
Okay.
search bar. Or that, yeah, kind of like the locket example right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can use that search bar in lieu of the by name, right?
Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah, yeah. I was as you were saying it, I was looking at thinking the same thing as I'd rather have a search bar because you can instantly jump to that.
Yeah.
Keep the back button in it because we do need. Well, actually, let me think about that. Maybe it's time for him to look at ours. Yeah, the back button works. Yeah, go ahead and put this back chevron in there. Okay. So now we can go. Do we even need from contacts even? Because what's the difference? You can search either way, right? So maybe we can go by phone number, by QR code.
Well, so we have add a contact here, so we can get rid of that button, right?
Probably that's different. That's if your contact isn't showing up in your list, like it
Mm,
has in sync.
mhm.
But that one's gonna get moved down. So let's not worry about that yet. But let's do um, the top section first. So we don't need to say from contacts or by name or username because we can just search. So we can go by phone number.
Mhm.
That's convenient. Still have the icons. That's good.
Mhm. Man, those are huge.
Hey, Wells and Amit, did you guys get your information exchanged that you needed to?
Yeah. So I already sent him, and it's all also deployed. Well, can you please test it?
Yes, sir. I am implementing this as we speak.
Okay, great. Let me know when we can see how it looks, Wells.
Okay, okay.
Thanks.
John, I was trying to recreate that the category icon this year, but I was not able. Like even like in the old versions.
When you say recreate it like the jumpy,
Yeah. Like let me show my screen.
sure. The jumping's happening right now in build 34.
Yeah, but like I went like the build 30 and I still can see it.
It's
Like
not in production.
huh? It's
It's
9-1.
not. It's not in production.
Um
I mean, I can go in the Discover feed and I'm clicking all
like
kinds of profiles I've never clicked before.
mhm.
Um, that's 4 now, 5.
And what about like not just the first time, but like doing first, second, like is it every time? Because like this is like a 30, like build 30 and uh I'm seeing it. So
Interesting. That's build 30 doing that.
yeah, this is build 30 and I went through like every change that was introduced, revert them, nothing really
Okay,
uh
let me see if I'm going to tap on that same profile. See if that has something to do with it. Nope. I tapped on it in build 32 and it's instant. Um,
hmm.
mm,
I'm not
show me.
sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely doing it.
I'm not sure whether like with the flickering of the image made this look worse on production. I
No,
mean,
I'm saying it's 100% absolutely not happening in production. N- Not ever. I just went through like 10 different ones.
okay,
Let me try and slow it down. Like perhaps it's so fast that it's imperceptible to me. So let me record it and slow it down. Hmm. There's something happening. Something very interesting. This might be a clue in slow motion. Let me share my screen.